Good morning. Yes, another wet, windy and horrible day out there again today, so we're stuck at home again, and so I thought I'd just give you a bit of an update on the channel, what we've been doing over the last few weeks and what we've got in store for the next few. So stick around and I'll tell you all about it. My wife Shelley and I both left our full-time jobs in April of 2021 and decided to follow our dreams of further travel, adventure and a bit of the unknown. We sold our 5-acre rural property and downsized to our lock-up and leave 2-bedroom livable shed. We built this to also house our caravan and vehicle and provide us with storage when the lure of overseas travel calls. Unfortunately, we both know people who didn't quite make it to retirement or after a long working life are now unable to do the things they dreamt of, either from disability or illness. While we will still have to work from time to time, we aim to spend as much time as possible travelling around our beautiful country of New Zealand and later on some further destinations. So there you have it, Vagabond life. Yeah, so over the last few weeks it's been pretty much the same sort of weather as this. I gather it's over most of New Zealand, it's not just in the Bay of Plenty here. We've certainly had, probably over the last couple of months to be fair, we've had some pretty lousy sort of weather. We tend to be getting, 1 or 2 fine days and then, 3, 4, 5 days of rain. And then maybe another 1 or 2 fine days again. So it was pretty much like this when we were up in Coromandel. It rained quite a bit, so we're going out and doing as much filming as we could in the fine little spells we were getting. So yeah, it's not really conducive to going out and doing much camping or what have you at the moment. But never mind, we can get a few projects done at home, and as you saw in the last video, we got the caravan all sorted out, so that's now all ready to go. And we've also, how can I say it, we've got a new addition to the family. Not a baby, those days are long gone. No, we bought a 2018 Suzuki Jimny. So we bought it so we could have a vehicle to use for running around town, just doing short trips down to get groceries or whatever we happen to be doing, just as a runabout. And it means we can save the ute, which is a diesel obviously. We can save that for longer runs and for towing the caravan. And the Suzuki can do the shorter runs just around town, and we can also use it to go fishing with down the beach. So we've done that a couple of times in the last week and a half, and it's been absolutely fantastic. We can basically drive straight down the beach, go along, find a nice area that we think there's going to be a good fishing spot. We can park up, set up with a tarp over the top, and some deck chairs, pull all our gear out of the back, and yeah, be nice relaxing, sitting in the shade in a nice deck chair and doing some fishing. So we've done that a couple of times now when we've had the one fine day a week. The first time we went down, Shelley caught a couple of small kahawai, but yeah, literally they were only that sort of size, so they obviously went back. And the second time we went down, we were only there about 10 minutes and gave up. It was blowing an absolute gale. Although here at home it was beautiful and fine and no wind, so yeah. But you get that. Yeah, and so it's been really great for that, and for running around town, and it's absolutely ideal, nice and small for parking. And we don't have road user charges and expensive servicing and everything on it either, so yeah, I think it will be really, really good. Another reason we bought it is further down the track, maybe in a few years' time, we may decide to possibly sell a caravan. I've always really liked the idea of building a bus, so I think I probably will do that one day. I would really like to do it. I'd actually really like to build a big bus and kit it all out inside and have beautiful native timber in it. But unfortunately we can't park a really big bus in our shed just because of the height. Our driveway sort of comes down a little bit before it goes into the shed, and we've got a 3.4 metre high roller door, so yeah, we'd be struggling with a bigger bus to get it in the shed, I think. But a smaller Mitsubishi Rosa or Toyota Coaster or something along those lines, and then tow the Suzuki behind it. So that was another reason for getting the Suzuki. What else has been happening? Before we went away to the Coromandel, we got a self-containment certificate for the caravan and got a warrant and what have you on it, but also went to get an electrical warrant, get that all sorted out as well, so we're good to go for another 4 years. And wouldn't you know it, it failed again. So it failed on the self-containment certificate because the previous guy who did it from brand new did a shoddy job, and it wasn't up to standard. Little did we know. The electrical warrant, it failed that as well, and what it was is I put the caravan in at one of the local caravan dealers here, and who also do repairs and bits and pieces on caravans, and they've got a shop which they sell inverters and all sorts of things. So I put it in a couple of years ago and had an inverter installed in it so that we could charge our camera batteries, our electric bike batteries and all of that sort of thing. We could charge up while we're away in the caravan and off-grid. What happened is that they put the inverter in, and then they asked me whether I wanted a plug on the outside of where it's installed, so it just looks like a normal power point, so you can just plug into that, turn the switch on, and away you go. But it solely runs off the inverter. The problem is that they never put a circuit breaker in it, so everything on the battery side of the inverter is fine because that's 12 volt. On the other side of the inverter, it's 230 volt, so it needed to have a circuit breaker, so if something happened it would just trip out, and it never had that. So yeah, so again, they don't mind taking your money off you, but unfortunately did not do the job properly. So we had to, the guy that came round to do the electrical warrant, Matt, I'll put his details in the description below. He was really good actually. He does all electrical warrants on caravans all through this area, and as far away as Gisborne I believe they come through because there's not many people doing them. So, but he was really good, and so he ordered the part for us. We went away, did our trip away in the caravan up to Coromandel, and then when we came back we just gave him a ring and he came around, installed the new circuit breaker and put electrical warrant on it. So yeah, we're really glad to get that done. So now we're all legal beagle and ready to go, and now we just got to wait for some fine weather. But so yeah, I think probably we'll be here till just after Christmas. We'll probably leave Boxing Day or something maybe, and we're looking at heading out towards New Plymouth Way, staying there for a few days and then making our way down the west coast of the North Island, down to Wellington that way, and then we'll go over to Martinborough and have the wedding that we're going to, and then we'll come back up through Napier and Gisborne and then back home again. So that's still our plan, but we'll just delay that till just after Christmas. So we've got our son is coming back from the Navy, he's in Canada at the moment. He's coming back only for a couple of days, so we're going to spend that time with him here, and then he's got to go back to America to do a course over there for the Navy. So yeah, he's certainly getting around the country, around the world, that's for real. Yeah, so that's sort of our plans for the next sort of week or so anyway. And so the other one is, I came back from town this morning and found a strange woman in our house, so I'll show you what I mean. So yes, Shelley decided it was time for a bit of a change, and she's always wanted to try out her hair that colour, so yeah, I think it looks really good. So I think that's pretty much it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, it would be much appreciated. Give it a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next one. See ya.